Lambs, greetings. You may have heard of a moving picture called I Am Curious, Yellow. Ever since I repeatedly heard the title of that moving picture, I wanted to produce my own moving picture called I May Be Curious, but I Ain't Yella. So I've been working on a script. You may want to participate in either acting in this moving picture or in helping to get funds for it. Here it is. Here's the beginning of it. Oh yes, go within. Now the first, okay. Laddie, what are you doing with that young woman? I don't believe that I've had the pleasure, sir. I beg your pardon? Your nomenclature, sir, your nomenclature. We never lead with a question, but with an introduction, followed by a profile of our antecedents. Ah! Quite right, quite right. My name is Skip, but you can call me Mr. Dinner, since we have only just met. And? Ah! Yes, my father was Larry Dinner of Brobdingnag, one of a long line of stevedores. I myself am a stevedore by trade, and you, laddie? Pleased, I am sure. I am known as Jeremiah Fodgother, son of Steve Fodgother of Dunton, Idaho. He a cameras man by trade, while I dicker in the directing of digital dramas and delights to distract the dumb boobies. Ah! Somehow I knew that you were going to say that. Now, Mr. Dinner, about your question. What question is that? You asked of me, what am I doing with that young woman? Ah! You see, just between you and me and this fire plug, points at fire plug, she and I have been so close as to have kissed each other on the lips. And I thought, what the hey? I'm a director, and now by law she is my wife. Although I'm the 22nd... You know, I left something out of this. I went online and looked up the plot. It's kind of confusing where the lead character is leading her own life and where she's doing stuff in the movie. So I might have to change it later a little bit. Just between you and me and this fire plug, she and I have been so close as to have kissed each other on the lips. And I thought, what the hey? I'm a director, and now by law she is my wife. Although I'm the 22nd man to have kissed her upon her lips. But that is between you and me and this fire plug. Well, Jeremiah, if the fire plug won't talk, then I shan't either. Will you someday get to telling to me that which you are doing with her? So I thought to myself, yes, I understand that it was to yourself, else it were telepathy. I thought, here I am, a director, and here is she, an actress, in my arms. Why should I not direct a moving picture with her in it? For what is a director with nothing to be directed? And what is an actress with nothing wherein to act? Ah, indeed. So tell to me, Jeremiah, if you would be so kind. Yes. What is the rôle wherein you have casted her, and in what plot? You are a demanding soul, aren't you? If you promise to laud and to spread the good repute of my efforts, then I shall spill that knowledge to you. How can I promise such a thing, never having seen the production? Ah, a man of integrity, of what use are you to me? Well, Jeremiah, if you ever need anything to be stevedored, I can be available for hire at 2 hours' notice, if the good Lord be willing, and the marge rise not. Fair enough, Mr. Dinner. She is playing the role of a young woman. Your genius at casting shows from the very outset, and she abides with her pappy. Where's her character's ma? She's not in the script. Let's presume that she is in the laundry's room, the kitchen, the herbal garden, and at times in the bed. Yes, in the bed. Yes, in the herbal garden. Pray, go onward, Jeremiah. Her character's name is FLUFFY BANDANGOWICZ. She is driven by a passion for social justice. Stop a minute, Aya. May I call you Aya? That's what my friends call me, but you're not my friend. We've only just met. Why, you've never even stevedored for me. I think that it were more canny were you to call me Mr. Fodgother. Mr. Fodgother, for now. For now, Mr. Fodgother, her character abides with her pappy, right? Right. Is she betrothed? 9. Then her pappy is her authority, yes? Exactamente, Quickstraw. Until she be betrothed and wedded, he is her man. So you are going to tell to me that she, being driven, as you said, will be conducting radical and disruptive deeds? I am going to tell it to you, you ask. Mr. Dinner, telling that to you is my intent, but will I actually tell it to you? I can't say whether I'll actually tell it to you or not, for that would be foretelling the hereafter. It remains to be seen. Whether you'll tell it to me or not. Yes, whether I'll tell it to you or not. Whether she, being driven, will conduct radical and disruptive deeds. Or not. Or not. Never foretell the hereafter without the... I never foretell the hereafter without the caveat. The caveat, whatever a caveat is, add one letter and you have a cavebat. Yes, you would be equipped to play cave baseball. I never foretell the hereafter without the caveat as follows. Quote, if God will allow it, end quote. What, never? No, never. What, never? Well, never. Surely that is a caveat if ever I heard one. FLUFFY BANDANGOWICZ, in searching to find her own true identity, wanders the trails in the public greenwoods and parks. There she queries the passers-by about topics. About what topics? FLUFFY queries the passers-by about topics whereof her curiosity is about to make her to burst. Dissolve. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, mister, can I ax you a cushion? Stop running away. Enter passerby 1. Excuse me, sir. Are you a passerby? Yes, young lady, I am. Well then, I am interviewing passers-by. Interview away then. Thank you. I am searching to find my true identity. Therefore, I must ask you about Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Can't say as I see the correlation to your identity, unless you think that he might be your father. He was a communist agent trained at a communist school in the USA called the Highland Folk School. His job was to help to destabilize American society. Fascinating. How did he do that? Well, he wasn't acting alone. After his every speech were rioting, looting, and destruction of property. Spies who watched him for the FBI reported officially that every night he spent in a hotel, he always hired white women to visit him. I heard that he was assassinated. Nearly all highly publicized assassinations have been fake. Maybe all of them. We don't have specific knowledge about his alleged assassination, except that the entire biography and identity of the man accused of killing him was fake. James Earl Ray. Yes, James Earl Ray was a fake identity used by the massive media to create a fictitious person, using photographs of a member of the Rothschild family, who sometimes played the role of Beatle George Harrison. Now, I couldn't remember if it was George Harrison or John Lennon or Paul that James Earl Ray played, so I'll have to change that. If I have to do a long time search, but I wanted to get this done. Back to the script. That is a shocker. Indeed it is. And since so much of the tale is fake, the assassination and Martin Luther King's whole bio are most likely fake. How can I express my gratitude? You can babysit my children next Wednesday night. Okay, I'll text to you. Does text even exist in this fictional universe? Good question. Are we even both from the same universe? Just look me up in the phone book. Passerby number 1. See you Wednesday. See you. Exit passerby number 1. Oh, when will passerby 2 arrive? Dissolve. Skip says, Mr. Fodgother, you still haven't told to me whether Fluffy Bandangowicz will conduct radical and disruptive deeds. You're right about that, Mr. Dinner. Keep your pants on. Dissolve. Passerby 2. Pardon me, miss. I heard that you were looking for a passerby. That's right, I am. Well, I'm a passerby. May I interview you? Interview away. I am searching for my true identity. I mean, that's what the synopsis said about the character in I Am Curious Yella. She was searching for her true identity. Back to the script. I must ask you to tell to me about the United States' involvement in the Vietnam War. Can't say that I see the correlation to your identity unless your mother was a Vietnamese slut who was impregnated by an American warrior. Please just tell to me about America's involvement there. As you wish. To begin with, there was no Casus belli. Caesar, or maybe, I'm not sure, it might have been Alexander, said that an army travels on its belly, but he didn't say whether it was Casus or not. This is how you expect to find your true ID? Casus belli means cause for war. What about the Gulf of Tonkin incident? Wasn't that a Casus belli? As fake as a $3 bill. Unless they start printing $3 bills, then it would be as fake as some other non-denominational bill. How so? Well, the characters surrounding the alleged incident were fake. You have heard of Jim Morrison, lead singer of the Doors. Of the Doors. What has he to do with it? You'll see. Now it's important to know, that's how Jimmy Carter and his wife used to say, important to know that the names and identities of nearly all celebrities and politicians are fake. Each name and identity is the property of some corporation. Come on. You want me to tell you or not? Yes, tell. Have you ever heard the expression that a particular artist is, quote, worth more dead than alive, end quote? The worth of his art soars after his death. Yes, I know it. That is a very well-known expression. In the case of musicians and actors, the worth of their memorabilia and royalties soars after their character is believed to be dead. That makes sense. So the corporation issues the artist a fictitious identity from the very beginning. Using scientific studies, they can reckon the moment when that fake character is, quote, worth more dead than alive. This is somehow about USA and Vietnam, right? You'll see. It's circumstantial, but 1,000 such circumstances can be very convincing for the time while we wait for absolute proof. We reckon on probabilities and likelihood in the interim. Well, that is sensible enough. After they kill a fake character, they give to the artist a new character for him to play. Just before the character Jim Morrison was killed, he was photographed as starting to become obese. Okay. They gave to Jim Morrison a new character for him to play. Jim Morrison is now Rush Limbaugh. You're jivening me. Not so. No, it's so. All you have to do is find certain photos smiling. Both may have a very peculiar S-curve to the line. No, both have a very peculiar S-curve to the line on the left side of their smile, of the smile. Because it's one person, not theirs, the. His left. Nowhere else do we see that peculiar S-curve. Okay, so what if he is? What has that to do with USA and Vietnam? So that you can find your true identity. We'll see. So, Jim Morrison was one of the leaders of the anti-war movement. So Jim's father was the admiral in charge of the ship that was involved in the fake Gulf of Tonkin incident that was used as a fake Casus belli. But I thought that you said that Jim Morrison was a fake identity. How could we be sure that that admiral was really his father? How do we know that the incident was fake? Maybe he began his career using his real name. Or maybe the father-son relationship is fictitious. What does it matter? So much of the tale surrounding the case is fake. But how do we know that the incident was fake? Two ways, and they're both very convincing, if not indisputable. Go on. Sorry. I'm not used to this character switching thing. I'll be one of the actors probably, but I'm going to have to do a better job than I'm doing now. Go on. First, they said that the ship was torpedoed by the Viet Cong. Okay. The sonar operator said that not only was there no sign of a torpedo, there was no sign of any other vessel whatsoever. But the strongest evidence is that the Secretary of State, McNamara, I got to look that one up too, I think he was the Secretary of State, said that the alleged incident never happened. So it was fake. You got it. So why did the USA want to be in the war? Oops, that is a very, so why did the USA want to be in the war? Oops, that is a very bad question. A better question would be, who were the men who wanted the USA to be in the war and why? The names of those men are not known to mainstream history. Only their agents and infiltrators' names are known. I'll not list them now. Mayhap I'll be able to find them elsewise. I can tell to you that winning the war was never an objective. Oh, really? That's right. General Westmoreland wanted to win the war, but he was not allowed to win it. So what was the objective? One lesser objective was to lessen the number of living patriots and to get so many of the survivors hooked on drugs. What else? I heard a rumor that the war gained the petroleum rights for the Rockefeller family. Is that it? Well, it is very significant that at the beginning of the war, the government of South Vietnam was Buddhist, while at the end of it was Roman Catholic. And mind you, the Vatican had been taken over since 1958 by the Rothschild family, using Grand Orient Freemasonry to infiltrate and coerce the top Vatican officials. Yes, I heard about that in the videograph called Tom Cruise is a Failure. Honey, have you any more interviewing to be doing? Not of not of you and passerby, Truman. How can I express my gratitude to you? Babysit my children next Wednesday night. I can't, passerby too. I can't, passerby too. I'm already booked for Wednesday's night. Well, then do it on Thursday's night. Done. Is there text in your fictitious universe? Just look me up in the phone book. Otra Bates. Vaya con Dios. Vaya con Dios. Exit. Passerby. This is quite triumphant. Where is the next passerby? Redbird alights. Dissolve. Skip. I've got to say to you, Mr. Fodgother, I haven't seen a whole lot of conducting of radical and disruptive deeds. I've got to say to you, Mr. Dinner, keep your pants on. Dissolve. Enter passerby 3. Oh, joy! Another passerby. How do you know that I'm a passerby? Let me find a voice for that. How do you know that I'm a passerby? Because you weren't here, and now you're here. Well, I won't be a passerby until I will have left and gone, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Exit. No, wait, don't leave. Enters again. Okay, now I'm a passerby. Oh, joy again. Oh, joy again. May I interview you? No. But I just want to ask you a few questions. I won't answer them. Oh, please, I need to find my true identity. So I must ask of you, what about sexual equality? I shan't tell you. To you. What won't you tell to me? That Eve was made to be the helper of Adam, and he was made to be her boss. That applies to mankind, but not to the seed line of the serpent. What about them? I told you I'm not going to answer any of your questions. But that was not my question. I borrowed it from another. Well, all right then. It must be a very hard question to be answered. Not at all. Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Satan's kingdom is a queendom. It is filled with females who have been overwhelmed by Jezebel spirits, some of whom themselves may be Jezebel spirits. They mean to exercise control and to dominate. Just as the Collins Witch Queen has received obeisances from the leaders of the Rothschild family. But every queen is controlled by a male force, ultimately. Who is it? Shh. I vanish. Exit. Golly, Dad blame it, what kind of interviewing was that? Another passerby, another passerby. Come on, another passerby. Dissolve. Skip says, why are you looking at me like that? I'm waiting for you to say it. I'm not saying anything, and my pants are still on me. Praise heaven for that. Dissolve. Passerby 4. This is from Gilbert and Sullivan. Oh, I love the jolly rattle of an ordeal by battle. There's an end of tittle-tattle when your enemy is dead. Hello. Oh, I need a voice for this one.
You know, I was just...
Is that the voice of this year?
I was just thinking the same thing.
My name is Fluffy. What's yours?
I'm Passerby 4.
A pleasure, I'm sure.
The pleasure is all mine.
Perhaps you are mistaken.
No, I am a liar.
Then I shan't converse with you.
You're the cutest jailbird I ever did see.
Begone, sir, lest I summon the gendarme.
You forget that there are no police in this fictitious universe.
You forget that you have entered my fictitious universe, where we do employ gendarme.
You forget that I am a liar.
Fluffy pulls out a whistle and puts it to her mouth and takes a deep breath.
Shh! I vanish.
Enters gendarme. Oh, he vanishes. I forgot to say. He exits. Enters gendarme, who says,
You were about to summon a gendarme?
Yes, a liar just left from here.
I shall go and slay him.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Exit gendarme. I scarcely know what to expect from the next passerby. Voice, off camera. Don't expect nothing. That's impossible. I've already expected nothing. Voice. Then don't expect something. Whence arises yon voice? Over here. Fluffy suddenly turns her head to the right. No, over here. Fluffy suddenly turns her head to the left. Then, as Howie leaps into view, right here. I liked it better when I couldn't see you. We'll never get along, but you might as well tell to me your name anyway, so I know whom I'm not getting along with. Fluffy, what's yours? Hold on now. I never said that I was going to tell you my name. Whoops. Okay. Then I'll make up a name, and that shall be your name henceforward. Not unless I like it. Whether you like it or not, your name is Pete. Okay so far, but it is incomplete without a patronymic. What is my patronymic to be, according to you? Bog. Your name is to be Pete Bog. Har, har, hardy, har, har. That is a good one. I'll save it for my Labrador Retriever. This has gone on long enough. Let's get to be practical. You have said the magic words. What's the game? I must interview you in search of my own identity. So what's the first question? What's your name? So that's the trick, is it? I told you we'd never get along. Well, since you gave to me your first name, it's only fair that I give to you mine, so that you'll know who it is that you're not getting along with. But only my first name, since you told to me only your first name. Mine's Howie. My last name is Bandangowicz. Bandangowicz. Mine is Did It. Howie did it. That's not fair. I gave to you my real name. You tried to give me a fake name, Pete Bog, but Howie Did It is my real name. I believe you. I believe you. So what is the second question, Fluffy Bandangowicz? What are the social classes in West